Oh, is this
For real this time? Take 3.
okay? Take 3. So we're going to talk about some tips for the third recording attempt, to make your life better with AI, and we're gonna end up with a really interesting discussion about language. Right. I'm so Mike's power went out. We were recording this yesterday. Mike's power went out, and basically what happened was his whole screen went blank. But I could still hear him because he's got some UPS stuff going on.
And I thought we were completely disconnected.
Yeah. But now, whenever the little thing, the intro thing comes in, and there's like a second and a half of it black, I was just thinking, wait, did his power go out again?
Disconnected.
Yeah. Anyway, so this all started off. I'm gonna do the preamble. This all started off by me thinking, let's do a little thing on ways to make your life better with AI, and some little tips. One example would be to ask your LLM to don't be sycophantic, and that can help it stop being so kind of like, hey, good job, hey, nice one, hey,
great idea.
Great idea. And also it helps it evaluate your request without being like agreeing with you. It can actually point out flaws a little bit more, I found. And another one would be to say, what was wrong with your last answer? Which often finds, if you ask that, it will say, oh, you know what? Actually, what I just told you is not entirely correct. But another tip, which was shared with me at work by someone on a Slack channel, like internally, that we have for people who are using AI, was tell the LLM to follow something called ASD STE 100 Simplified Technical English. There we go. It's on the screen. And it was interesting because I put this on our list of things to talk about, and Mike thought that it was how you speak to the AI. And I think what was recommended, and I'm actually not sure anymore, is to tell the AI to respond according to this standard. This is a standard that is just for communication in technical communication, right? You've had a look through it, Mike.
Yeah.
So the idea, I thought, was if you tell it to output things in that way, then like blog posts and articles or guidance or whatever, it's much easier to understand. And this is coming from a non-native English speaker as well.
And when I read it, I thought it was saying this is how you should talk to your LLM to get the best results. But I think ultimately maybe both things are true, because the tips that they give are things like sentence length. Don't use sentences more than 20 words. Always use active voice and say push the button instead of the button should be pushed. Use direct commands. Don't use restricted sense when you're framing. So I tend to do a lot of this stuff where I'll say like, hey, should we do that? When I really mean either do this or give me some other options. But one of those things would be much more precise and clear and easy to follow and probably get a better result.
Yeah, and I think you're right, actually. I think that probably is the case. I think it's interesting to look at the core objectives. Thank you, by the way, Mike, for copying a lot of stuff into our little document. So if I list out a couple of them, I think they really hook into both sides of the conversation really well. Number one is enhance safety. So it eliminates ambiguity in critical maintenance and operational instructions, which is great because you're giving instructions to an AI, and you want them to be unambiguous. Improve readability. So it simplifies its complex sentence structures and reduces language barriers. Optimize translation. So it makes human translation faster and less expensive, right? So you're actually probably going to end up using fewer tokens with this. And ensures a standardized documentation. So it ensures a consistent voice and phrasing. It's probably not such a great benefit because AI is pretty consistent anyway, unless you tell it to talk like a pirate or something. But I think there's a really kind of good core things to aim for.
And they're not, the standard ASD STE 100 is not for AI.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time. It's a standard for technical writing, just to make sure your technical writing is clear and concise and easy to understand and doesn't lead to confusion.
What is ASD again?
We looked it up. It's it's an industry group, I think. From
Aerospace Security and Defense Industries Association of Europe is the ASD aerospace thing, which is like nothing to do with AI at all. I'm supposed maybe they do have something to do with it.
Just a good technical writing standard.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway.
So did you cover what your tips were? Don't be sycophantic. What's wrong with your answer?
What are you least confident about right now?
What are you least confident about? Yeah.
An AI that sometimes it will say, well, I'm not sure about this, or, maybe this could be tightened up or something. It's kind of good.
Are you pretty good about using like Claude.md files or system instructions for some of this stuff?
I have not gotten into that habit, honestly. Yeah. It generates a lot of them automatically for me. But I don't know.
I find it can be helpful, especially in like Claude Code. For example, I tend to be kind of casual when I'm talking to my AI assistant. And so when we get to the end of a chunk of code, I'll say ship it or run it or go or something. And so I have an instruction that says, when I say this, what I mean is create a merge request, but don't merge it. Even if I say merge it, that's what that means. So I have a set of rules like that. And I find that to be pretty helpful. So things like don't be sycophantic goes well in that kind of a block. I will create rules. I don't know. I can't think of another good example, but the other thing I'll do is create memories. So have it create memories and then say, it makes the same mistake a couple times in a row. I'll say, make a memory to stop doing this. Don't do this again. And it actually does seem to help. The one tip that we've talked about, I think a couple times, this idea of like, what's wrong with your last answer, is to use subagents for critique. So I ran on the same topic. I keep getting kind of pulled into this, but I asked, what are some tips for writing good prompts? Gave me a bunch. And one was to use a mixture of experts, create an antagonist agent to rip apart the idea. So I did. And it ripped apart the idea so thoroughly. I was like, wait, does this even work? You just made such a strong argument that this will never work. Well, I'm not even going to try it now. What's happening?
That's excellent.
So I'm trying to find the balance of.
Wow.
I mean, anybody. What did I do?
Yeah.
What was I trying to figure out? Oh, it was about this mixture of. Okay, so the issue was you use a mixture of experts using these antagonist subagents to do a thing. And you can't use subagents in Claude Chat. You can use subagents in Claude Code, but not natively in Chat. So the alternative is to tell it to play the role of a subagent, run the prompt, then apply this persona, do the thing, give feedback, and then kind of return to yourself. So telling it to role play these different things within a single session. But so then I took that and said, this is the advice I got from Claude for how to deal with it in Chat. Critique it, tear it apart, tell me why it won't work. And basically said, no, that'll never work because you can't take things out of context and it can't ignore what was previously there. And it's always going to be biased and you'll dilute the context and you'll lose main points from the conversation.
Wow.
Well, all that sounds true. So maybe this doesn't work at all.
Excellent. Wow. Yeah, I never really got into that. I had one experience today, a little tiny example, where I have created a tool to import things and ingest them and analyze them and blah, blah, blah. And usually it accepts a zip file. But I tried to add a zip file today and it was too big. So I said, just write some instructions to run it from the command line. So it did. And I ran it from the command line and it said, it's running out of memory. I was like, God, whatever. So I said, how do I up the memory limit? And it told me to edit some system config files. Tried that, didn't work. And then I just copied and pasted I'm very lazy these days. I don't even describe the problem anymore. I just copy and paste an error straight into like I don't need to you can figure it out from context. And then I didn't realize that it had this information at the time, that it figured out exactly what I was doing, looked at the script that was providing the error, found the place where the memory limit was hard coded, and then said, well, you can fix it doing this, but really the problem is that you're trying to load the whole file into memory in the first place. Really, you need to be streaming it. And it suggested a whole changes to make to the script. And I was like, I suppose that is the problem, actually. Yeah.
I don't
but
feel
you
like
made
I've
that
had
script.
good luck with that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times I wish Claude would be a little bit more, not prescriptive, but thinking of different paths. I don't know. Too often I'm the one saying, well, what if we did this way? And say, oh, yeah, that's definitely the right way to do it. Okay, but if that's definitely the right way to do it, then why didn't you say that earlier?
Do you ask it to think really hard about this?
Explicitly, think hard about this?
Yeah.
No, I will say my phrase that I use is carefully review.
Ah, okay.
That's what I normally go with.
That's tip number 5 then. Cool.
Sure.